Hey everybody, my name's Miss Crystal, and everybody's been sending us emails saying, when you get a new t-shirt? When you get a new t-shirt? Well, guess what? Not one, but
two new t-shirts. Where's mine? Tell them.
I went to a local t-shirt shop to print these off, and they didn't have Tammy's size.
He took the graphic down to a t-shirt shop before we could get them on the website, and guess what? We don't have big titty sizes. Okay? So, when this comes out, by the time this comes out, they're going to be on our website, and guess what? We go up to a 6X, baby. So, on our website, we're going to have your size.
All sizes.
just drink some tea.
Just drink some tea.
And then this is if you like sports as much as we do.
You're going to love that one.
Every sport.
Every sport.
You're going to love that
football,
one.
basketball, and soccer represented down there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys, go to eatmytrash.com and get your new Trailer Tales t-shirt today.
Hey, y'all. Go see Tammy and Crystal on tour live this weekend in Sacramento, California. And then Tacoma, Washington, Spokane, Washington, Oklahoma City, and more dates and new merch at eatmytrash.com. And go see our pal Jeremiah Watkins live on tour in Los Angeles, California, and New York City with Stand Up on the Spot this week and next week. And then headlining in Tacoma, Washington, Tyler, Texas, Houston, Texas, Batavia, Illinois, and more dates to be added at jeremiahwatkins.com. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing, y'all. We love ya.
It's time for Trailer Tales.
Hello, it is me, and welcome to another episode of Trailer Tales. Dave Gunther here, hot on the case of the missing people watching this podcast. Because if you're not watching this podcast, then you need to figure out your life. To my left is the wonderful, the mesmerizing, one of the coolest people I've ever met in my entire life, that I've had the privilege of not only being her friend, but she's also been a mentor to me. It's
Miss Crystal. Thank you. That was nice.
And to her left is an epic force to be reckoned with, not only in this level of legal, but also in the illegal activities of the world. She might have a dark side, but she most certainly has a light side, because she is an angel that has fallen from heaven who graces us with her presence every single week. It's the one, the incredible, the monumentally famous, and the one that I'm proud to call one of my best friends and yours. It's
Tammy. And thank you guys for joining us on another week of Trailer Tales, our real life podcast. Thank you guys for being here. Damn, Dave, thank you. We got to come up with an intro for you.
I know. We don't ever say nothing about him.
It's all right. I know my place.
I'll try one.
Okay.
And to my right is the cool, savvy, pencil dick, incredibly smart and adventurous Dave Gunther.
I don't need an intro. It's fine.
And
I said one bad thing out of the whole thing.
And it was a joke.
And to my right is the very luscious hair having, kind-hearted, give you the shirt off his back, even if it has shit stain on it. Cool dude. Just be there for you. All around funny guy. Dave Gunther.
Thank you.
Well, we figured, hey, we were not expecting an intro like that.
Right.
Well, it's just how I feel.
Yeah.
And that's how the people who watch this podcast feel. It's honestly, sometimes I feel like I am in the royal family. And, you know, I'm kind of the redheaded stepchild or whatever, but I'm still in the family, and I get to be around a couple forces to reckon with. That's y'all.
Well, and we're just getting closer, not only as friends and family, but as podcast co-hosts. We're really vibing.
Yeah.
Co-workers.
Yes.
If you will.
We run this thing like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I have grown to be your friends so much. Not even attracted to y'all anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, that's great.
Right. I just see you for you and the lights that you are.
That's funny because last night you texted me saying, did I just see Crystal on the passenger side of a short bed single cab truck, green? Who was it? And I said, what? I said, what? She went on a blind date. What does it matter? You said, who's the guy? And I said, I don't know. I didn't know the guy. I wasn't even there when it happened.
If you're not attracted to me, why are you asking about my whereabouts?
I'm looking out for you. I thought somebody kidnapped you, to be honest.
So you thought I was sitting like this in a truck? That I was being kidnapped?
Yes, I did. Because you're a kind soul, and I didn't know if after you got kidnapped that you were like, well, this is happening, and you became compliant.
Well, to be honest, it kind of felt like kidnapping for the worst 4 hours of my life last night.
What do you mean?
happened?
I'm telling you, I made a vow that I would open my heart more this year, and I'm about to shut it down again.
Crystal,
I'm giving up on men.
what happened? I hadn't even heard this.
Where do I even start? You laughing?
No, I had a cough. I'm sorry.
Well, Sheila from Bingo set me up. For weeks, she's telling me, my neighbor, he's handsome. He works up at the VFW hall, all this, that, and everything else. And I'm like, Sheila, I don't want to go out with him. And she basically run me down where I said, yes, what are you looking so weird for?
Am I looking weird? It kind of hurts when I'm looking at someone.
Regular? And they say, why are you looking weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I get it.
I'm just like looking.
Yeah.
I'm just upset.
It's called listening. I'm being a man that listens. Sorry, ladies. I know that's a weird thing to see somebody do, but I'm hanging on every word that you're saying.
Sorry.
Where
I'll continue.
Tammy's fucking yawning over there, to be honest. You don't think I saw that?
She hadn't got to the story yet. I'm waiting.
Well, first of all,
Anytime I've yawned on this podcast, y'all have shit on my back.
Because you do it in the middle of the
She's
story.
tired.
You do it in the middle of the story, and I'm tired. You do it
She's
to be
tired.
mean.
Oh, so we're allowed to be
bored.
tired on the podcast now? Sack up.
I am. I'm here. I'm ready to listen to a story on why she had such a bad night. Because you told me you were being optimistic about this. You said you were going to really put yourself out there, and you weren't excited about the blind date, but you were being optimistic.
Right.
So what's going on?
And I'll quit being optimistic. Well, first of all, I'm sitting there waiting. He's going to pick me up. David, come on now. I'm trying to tell a damn story.
Let her tell the story.
I'm just going to ignore him.
Ignore him.
I hear a honk.
You interrupted your own story to say I was weird looking in the face.
No, I said you're looking at me weird. You don't look weird.
But that's how I hear it.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah, that's a you problem.
So anyway,
It is.
I'm sitting there, I hear a honk, and I thought, certainly that's not him, so I'm not going to get up for a honk.
He honked outside to tell you on a first date
Yes.
to get in his car.
Yes.
I would have beat the shit out of that guy.
Well, I didn't think it was him because I thought certainly not. And he texts me one word. Here.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You would never have done that.
No
You would
way.
have walked up with a bouquet of carnations and knocked on the door.
Miss Crystal.
You would have no. Daryl would have Here?
Here.
Crisco wouldn't have done that.
No.
Horny Hallelujah wouldn't have done
No.
that. Nobody in my inner circle would have done that.
Well-
There's no way.
He's a younger guy, so I thought maybe that's how these younger guys do it.
Long neck wouldn't have done that.
So I look out there and
He
see
would
him.
have popped his head out the car door and at least yelled, and his head would have reached the front door.
Right. Right. Okay.
So I just go out there because I thought maybe this is how they do dating now. No, maybe this is regular. And
He's a younger guy.
younger guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I go up to the passenger side, and he's, going. I thought he's not even going to get out and open the door for me, so I pull it up, and it's locked. And he goes 1 minute like this and starts pressing the button. And I'm, pulling it. He's pressing. He's going, wait. And I'm pulling it up. He keeps pressing it. We did that for about 20 times.
Oh, the in-between?
Right. He's
thing?
like, no, wait. And then I'm, so finally I get in. I said, hello, my name's Miss Crystal. He says, like, what's up? And starts driving.
That's the only exchange of dialogue that y'all had. He goes, what's up?
And I think he might have been nervous because he wasn't really looking at me or nothing.
Well, okay. Now, I don't want to play devil's advocate, but I will say that you are a beautiful woman. I'm saying this as a friend. And that sometimes people are struck by your beauty. Okay? So he might have gotten nervous because he didn't realize what he was dealing with. So he might have thought you were, that since it was a blind dates have, sometimes that stigma attached to it. Like, all right, I'll go on a blind date. It's probably not going to be any good. Because you even were thinking that on your side of things. So he probably said, sup. And then he started to drive. And he's like, holy shit. I don't want to mess this up. I have the most gorgeous woman right next to me. Choose your words wisely.
Well, he might have been thinking that, but then what happened is he said, you want to hear my new mixtape? And I'm thinking mixtapes. Back in my day, we used to make tapes for each other and put different songs. And he puts the worst music I've ever heard in my life. And, he's singing along to himself, which I thought was very strange.
Ooh.
He's like, you hungry or what? Like that. Or no, he said, you hungry or nah? Is what he said. And I said, I guess I'm hungry. Let's go get something to eat. And he pulls up to Wendy's. Goes through the drive-through.
What? Hold on.
This is your... Go ahead, Tammy.
So he's not going to take you somewhere nice like Chili's, Applebee's, Cheddar's.
To me, Wendy's is
Chevy's.
nice if you go inside.
Chi-Chi's.
He goes straight to the thing, and he orders. They should say, hey, welcome to Wendy's. What can I give you? He says, a Baconator, fries, a Frosty. And she goes, is that it? And then he goes, oh, do you want something? Turns to me. You want something? I go, well, yeah, I'll just guess I'll take a number 1 with the Coke Zero. And she said, anything else? We drive up there. And he goes, hey, would you mind splitting the 2 bills? Pays for himself and then looks at me to get my card.
At Wendy's?
At Wendy's.
Dutch at Wendy's? Is this guy trying to never get pussy?
So in my mind, I'm thinking it's either April Fool's, something. Maybe he's pranking me.
But it's way after April Fool's, Crystal.
I had no idea. And I thought, again, I'm still keeping an open mind. We're 15 minutes into the date. So he pulls into a parking spot and we eat in total silence. Not any kind of words. We're still listening to his mixtape. And, I was ready to end it there.
Right.
I said,
Of course.
I put all my trash in my bag and I said, well, thank you for picking me up. And he's like, oh, we're not done.
Okay, so you're thinking something good's about to happen.
Right.
He's about to take you somewhere nice. He's about to, okay.
Man, to me, it sounds like she's about to get murdered. Like that was her last meal.
Well, then he takes me to a salvage yard. And he says, he's trying to find
He's trying to find what?
He's trying to find a part.
He's trying to find a carburetor, he said. He says he redoes cars or whatever. He's got this Chevy at home he needs a carburetor for. I said, okay. He said, grab my tool bag in the back.
He's putting you to work?
So, I'm all for women's rights, so I grabbed the tool bag. And we're walking around. We find a carburetor. And pay for it.
You didn't split the carburetor, did you?
Well, He said, "You mind getting this? I left my wallet in the car." So I went ahead and just bought it.
paid for the carburetor.
What was I going to do? We already had picked it off of an old car. You're going to make me go put it back? Damn. And the only reason I'm laughing is because I can't believe my night. Which, I mean, I know how to do a pick and pull. So he was lucky.
Right.
He was lucky.
We've done a million of those.
Tell the listeners what a pick and pull is.
Okay, if you don't know what a salvage yard is, they call them a junkyard, other things like that.
You get pretty much any part you need, but you kind of have to go find it yourself.
Yeah. So before I went to go live with my grandma, my dad used to take me to the salvage yard, and he used to hang out with this guy named, I can't remember his name. Anyway, and he would let us run around. When we were real little toddlers, like 2 or 3, and we run in between cars, and we'd go, and it's a whole thing. So anyway, you go, and basically when a wreck happens and the car's totaled, it goes to the salvage yard. Well, now the whole front end may be crashed in, but guess what? The back of the car still got good parts: trunk,
muffler,
tail light,
back seat.
Yep. So let's say you have an '86 Oldsmobile, and you need the door handle popped off and broke. Well, they don't make 86 Oldsmobiles anymore. So what do? You call the place. Hey, y'all got any 86? You got any Oldsmobiles? I'm gonna come up there, look for a door handle or
Know
whatever.
how many rear view mirrors I found?
Yeah.
At a junkyard. Come on.
Right. So you go, but here's the thing: they won't go get it for you. You got to go pick and you got to go pull.
Mm-hmm. And I'm very fluent in pick and pull, so. He is lucky he had me, because you get a modern gal that's 25, 30. She's not going to even know what a pick and pull is.
She's not going to know. No.
So after that, then he says, "You mind if we run by my friend's house real quick?" And I'm like, "Okay." I'm not really enjoying myself at this point, but I thought, I'm already out of the house.
Right. Make a night of it.
So he goes in the house and leaves me in the car for about 2 hours. And
Crystal, why didn't you call me?
Well, I was embarrassed that I had let myself get in this situation.
Crystal, why didn't you call me?
Again, embarrassed.
Tornado
But I was
season.
looking at my phone and playing, games and stuff, and he came out and he goes, "You want to go have some fun?" I said, "Oh, God, I would love to go have some fun." Takes me to an axe throwing bar. Axe throwing. And
what do you do there?
you just throw axes at a wall. And he said he has, I don't know if this is true, said he was the state champion for axe throwing.
Doubt it.
I never.
What is this?
Doubt it.
That's not an organized sport. There's no way.
Nobody's keeping tabs. Doubt it. He's a liar on top of this. Go ahead.
And we threw axes, and everything was fine. And next door to the axe throwing place was a, what the heck? I can't remember what it's called, where you go in and you have to solve puzzles to get out.
Escape room.
Escape room. And
Okay.
it was real old timey theme, which I like.
These guys-
I started to really perk up. I thought I'm going to be like a 1940 detective.
Because you're like a problem solver, and you know
Exactly.
science real well, so like you probably thrive in that scenario.
So you kind of had to go through like a dark hallway to go into the one, and I paid for both of us. But I get in the long hallway and I hear this like a jail cell close behind me, and I look. He's nowhere to be found. I spent the next 3 hours trying to get out of this escape room by myself. And I'm looking, I can see cameras. I'm saying, "Can you please help me?" The most complex puzzles I've ever seen. And I've watched Survivor for many years and could often get those puzzles.
So what happened? He made you go first, then hightailed out of there?
I don't know where the man was the whole time. But finally, there was one puzzle where I had to sort of figure out. It was like a Bonnie and Clyde situation. Like, who did this? Anyway, I got out. I go around. He's hanging out with the gal in the front that sold us the tickets, a younger gal, and they're smoking dope and everything else. And I said, "Well, that was fun." You know, I didn't want him to think I didn't have fun.
Right. You want to reverse psychology him. You want to say, "Man, I had a good time." You didn't want him to think that he ruined your night. I'm not giving you power.
And he looked over and goes, "What?" I said, "I had fun in the escape room. You ready to go?" And she said, "Is that your grandma?" She said that about me. And I said, I guess I'm ready to go home now. And I think he wanted to stay with that gal, so I ended up taking a taxi. And luckily, the taxi driver was handsome, and we ended up making love in the taxi, which it wasn't a lost night. And
how'd that come about?
Well,
Did he go to the back or did you go to the front?
No, he came to the back, and I just, because when I got in the cab, I was crying. I'm gonna be honest, and I told this guy everything that happened, and he turned around and he said, "Miss Crystal," because I told him my name. I said, "Yes," and he said, "I'd never do that to you." He said, "I don't even know you. I'm a virtual stranger, and I'd never do that to you." And I said, "Why don't you treat my pussy like an escape room and try to figure it out?" And he came. He came back there.
That was good.
That's a line.
That was good.
And he figured my puzzle out. Now, will me and this taxi driver have another date? No, it's not that kind of thing. It was strictly animalistic and very sensual. But
Big question. Did you have to pay for the fare at the end?
oh no, I blew
That's
that
good.
man's mind. He didn't even remember to turn the fare thing on.
That's good. That's good.
But I will not be going on any more dates in the near future.
Can Tammy and I get the info of this guy so we can go beat his ass?
Yeah, just give me his number. Let's find out where he lives.
We'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, you don't got to ask about it or worry about it. Daryl and Dave can go over there.
Well, just look at my phone and the message that says here, that's him.
What's his name start with?
See?
What's the letter after that?
Yeah.
H.
Is it Charlie or
Chaz.
Chaz?
Sounds like a douchebag,
Yeah.
honestly.
He goes by Chaz B on his mixtape. I saw it. He handwritten on there.
This
Chaz
guy
B.
sounds like the worst. I'm glad you had that taxi cab love, but I was doing some tallying of the math for this date. And what? I mean, that probably put you out a couple $100,
Yeah,
Crystal.
Luckily, at the escape room, she did. I found this out later when I looked at my receipt. Gave me the senior citizen discount, so I had gotten $5 off. That saved me, but
Crystal, you're being too nice to this guy.
Yeah.
You're making excuses, and I know you didn't want us to come pick you up because you was embarrassed and all that. Never be embarrassed. You called me.
well,
Or you call me.
I was afraid if I called y'all would have smashed that guy to smithereens.
And you're right. I probably would have got up in his face. I would have got up in his face.
I would have said, "Sub, bro."
Can y'all imagine if you two showed up and he goes, "Oh my God, it's the people from Trailer Tales."
Why would he not recognize you?
He'd recognize.
He barely even looked at me.
Crystal.
He barely even looked at me.
Damn, dude.
It's like, why did you want to go on a date?
Right. What was the point of all that? And what was he doing in his friend's house for 2 hours?
Who opens with Wendy's on a blind date?
Chaz B. I'm not taking any more date recommendations from Sheila.
Bless you. Are you getting sick, Tammy?
Yeah, I'm tired of that bullshit that I just heard.
Oh, you're allergic to that.
I'm allergic to that bullshit I just heard. Mm-hmm. I'm allergic to Chaz's bullshit.
Yep.
And at one point when we were in the car in the beginning, I said, I'm trying to start a conversation, and I said, "You want to you want to see a craft I made? I have my own business. Trying to impress him.
Yeah, and that would impress any man.
And I pulled out this little toilet paper holder that I've been making. And he's like, yo, that's whack. That looks like something my grandma would make.
How old was this guy? How old was this guy?
I'm starting to think he was barely 18.
How old was he?
He was in his 20s. But you could tell that he really thrived when he was in high school. Those were his big days. But he's kind of hanging on to that. And I could see a man in pain. He's a man in pain.
Let's get back to the taxi cab, love. Let's focus on the positive of the night, okay?
Yes, please.
Now, when did you know? Because obviously he tried to comfort you and he said all that, like, I would never do that to you. Was it something that he did with his rear view mirror when he made eye contact with you that was like...
It was so when I got in, I was fine. But as soon as I sat down, that's when the tears started. And he had already started the meter. But as soon as he heard my tears, he went like this on the meter and pulled over. He wasn't gonna, he was giving me his undivided attention. And even turned around like this. Instead of looking at me in the mirror, he turned all the way around. Now, he had like a plastic thing, so he had to open it. And was looking. It was the care. The care. It was the total opposite of Chaz.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Did he eat your
Oh, of course. Of course he did.
What a cool taxi driver.
Oh, really cool.
Can you describe what he looks like?
Yeah, please.
He was heavy set, like me. There were a couple stains on his button-down shirt, which when he came back, I didn't see him when he was up there, but when he came back, I kind of saw the grease stains. I thought, I'm not going to judge him because I probably have grease stains.
You're working long shifts.
Right.
You're going, yeah.
Did y'all have to leave the back door open when he went down on you?
Yeah, how'd that work? Yeah, how'd that?
Yeah, he had his back half hanging out.
Okay. Like, was he on his knees, like, on the ground outside
Yeah.
the car door while you were spread out
Yeah.
in the back seat? Just because, just the mechanics, I'm trying to think of how this looks.
Yeah, it was
Where were y'all parked at?
on Cherokee. You know where the pawn shop is? Right there. So right outside there.
There's a big open area right there. That's perfect.
But it was late. It was probably 9:30, 10 o'clock by this time.
Yeah.
Trailer Tales.
If you're trying to kick back and actually relax for once, it's time to give Diet Smoke a try. Diet Smoke's award-winning gummies, vapes, and pre-rolls will get you dialing in the perfect vibe every time. Whether you want to get a good night's sleep or lock your focus down to crunch that to-do list, Diet Smoke has you covered.
People always ask me, Miss Crystal, which gummy's your favorite?
Which
Well,
which gummy's your favorite?
just like that, I say the grape sleep gummy. And you know why? Because I'm a realm traveler. And when I'm passing between realms, I like to do it with a grape sleep gummy. Here's me passing through realms.
She does.
Everything ships nationwide in 48 hours. And it's all backed by Diet Smoke's 100% lifetime happiness guarantee. If it's not your favorite experience ever, they'll replace it or refund it. No questions asked, and I don't like answering questions.
Use promo code TRAILER at checkout and get 20% off plus a free pack of our best-selling gummies on us. Seriously, no minimum purchase, no hidden hoops. Ready to make relax a reward instead of a routine? Head to dietsmoke.com, punch in trailer at checkout, and start feeling good on your terms. That's dietsmoke.com, code trailer. Your journey to better vibes starts now.
A lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, well, let's tackle it together. Let's see what we got, huh?
Sure.
Oh, we went full finger interlace. That was romantic. I haven't even done that with my wife in a while.
I thought you were going for that. I don't know.
Hey.
We're gonna be okay.
Yeah, all right. That was good.
I gotta slow down.
Hey, you're doing great, Casey. You're doing awesome.
This is so us.
He had a pair of shorts on. I remember that. And wasn't wearing shoes, which I thought was weird. But also, if I'm driving around in a taxi all day, would I wear shoes? No. And kind of a halitosis. Just a little. And again, if you're in a car all day, you don't have access
Was it
to.
before or after he went down on you, though, that you noticed the halitosis?
Oh, I noticed it right away when I got in the car. It was very.
But here's the deal. This guy probably didn't know he was going to be f***ing that day. He thinks he's driving around.
The reason why I asked the halitosis question is I've been accused of having bad breath with women, but it was after I went down on them. And I was like, hey, that ain't me.
That's you.
That was you.
At that point of the night, though, I didn't care. I was so hurt and felt so dejected, from the other date that I didn't care. I was able to look past the bad breath.
Damn, dude. Crystal, I hate this because we have been trying to get you to open up your heart. Mm-hmm. For how long? You never go on dates. You never do setups. You never do none of that. You'll do hookups. You'll do, men for men with a woman added. You'll do woman for woman with a woman added. You'll do woman for woman. You'll do male for woman. You'll do all those, but you won't do dates. And the one time you open up your heart to go on a date, and this motherfucker pulls some shit like that, and that's the thing with these young kids now. They're all used to the apps. Tinders. They're used to swiping. Next.
I wish I could have swiped him in real life.
Right.
I should have known when he texted here. I should have known. I should have typed go.
I think it's even more on the person who set you up on the blind date, to be honest.
Sheila?
Yeah, what the hell?
I think it comes back on Sheila because why would she think that Chaz B would be a good fit for you?
Sheila does do methamphetamines, so she does not have clear thinking all the time.
Damn.
But, damn.
You trusted someone to set you up on a blind date who does methamphetamine?
She's a good bingo player. And I thought she had some sense.
I mean, you could... That's a problem.
Yeah.
If somebody's talented at something, you let them slide with stuff.
Right.
Musicians, athletes, celebrities. Hey, they're talented. I'll give them a shot to set me up on a blind date.
Don't trust
them.
Don't trust them.
Learn my lesson. Tell you that.
Well, I'm sorry, Crystal.
Crystal's heart's closed.
Damn, dude. You know what? Maybe you'll get some inspiration out of this to create more Crystal's creations. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how, like, when something happens to an artist and they get angry or they're hurt and they make better art?
Oh, you mean like every Taylor Swift song ever?
Yeah.
Come on. Every breakup, she just gets stronger and stronger.
Right.
Happens.
They make bigger, better, more badass art. Just take all that frustration out on your LLC. Out on your LLC. Oh, you're going to add only one ribbon of satin ribbon and lace? Add fucking 3!
And black. Oh, you think I'm only going to put one popsicle stick on this? I'm going to put 10.
Popsicle stick?
Yeah, popsicle stick.
That's like one of the items on...
What?
I just don't commonly hear that as like an art thing.
You're not
like
a crafter.
Yeah, that's like her base for some of the creations.
Oh.
It's used as a support system, like
like the little legs on the penguin that you gave me.
all kind of different things.
I wondered what those were.
Popsicle sticks. Some people call them tongue depressors. Those are thicker. I like the skinny popsicle sticks.
Gosh. Well, Crystal, I hope this doesn't deter you from... We need to find... You know what? Let me find the next one. Would you do that? And I'll give you some space. We ain't got to find it right now.
Yeah, give me at least a week.
Okay, let me find... I got a couple contenders, but I want to interview them first. I'm going to interview these guys to take Crystal out on a date. And who I think is going to be the best one. I got a few contenders in my head.
Well, you know what I like, so...
I know exactly what you like. And a couple of them's been asking about you, but I keep saying, she ain't going to have nothing to do with you. She don't want no date. She don't want no nothing. You want to f*** her, go ahead and go over there. But they're wanting to take you on dates. So, we'll figure this out.
Just make sure they don't take me to the pick and pull.
No, we're not going to do that on a date.
That's a bad date.
Yeah.
Making someone buy you a carburetor. That's... Oof.
Did he pay you back?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
Dave.
Said,
Let's go get it back.
He said, I'll cash app you.
Oh.
Never even scanned my...
Oh.
We'll send Daryl and Dave over there to get it back.
Yeah, we
Daryl should go over there and get the damn carburetor out of the damn car.
That's what we just said. That's what we just said.
Oh, I thought you meant the
his
money.
ass. No.
No, the carburetor.
The carburetor. We're going to repo man his ass. Show up, take that carburetor.
They'll go
You
do
put
it.
it in one of your old cars?
I mean, I might at that point.
We can put it on Craigslist. Listen,
But I want to give it back to you so you can decide
Yeah.
what to do with it. You
Yeah.
can sell it or whatever you
I
want to
should
do.
make a craft out of it.
Yes, a carburetor craft. Nobody's ever done that before. Nobody. They use it for engines, not crafts.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That
See,
could actually be
you're
good.
sparking art.
Yep.
You're sparking art, Crystal. Right? You're sparking art. The more you live life, the better your art's going to be.
You're right.
You can't make good art if you're sitting in the trailer all day
You're right.
doing nothing. You got to get out there and live life.
I got to go to pick and pulls. And
Pick and pulls, have
axe
experiences.
throwing.
Yes.
Go to Wendy's.
Wendy's
Yes.
food drive-thru, not even inside.
Yes. And that's a positive that came out of this.
You're right. Always a positive. There's always a light in the darkness. That is Chaz B.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about him no more
Yeah, I'm done.
because I'm pissed off.
Well, something good that's going on is, we've been talking about how this might be happening. Do we want to talk about your podcast?
My podcast?
Yeah, that you're thinking of?
It's a perfect little segue.
Something positive. Do you want to talk about it?
And that's another art that I can throw myself into.
Exactly.
I'm going to start a podcast.
People can have more than one, by the way. Don't say, but Crystal, you got Trailer Tales. She can have more than one.
Like I can do mukbangs. Perfect example. I'm glad you said that.
It's I'm still getting all my. I got to buy multiple cameras. The camera I had, it's a Polaroid, and I asked David to help me set it up, and he said this is only for pictures. So we are back to square one, but
I was a little baffled, to be honest. I didn't know how to break it to you, Miss Crystal. She took a picture of me and said, "Can we make a movie out of this?" And I said, "This is a photo." Do you know how many pictures that would take to
Well,
make a movie?
I just thought Polaroids were always very advanced. You know, before we had the internet, if you wanted to take a nude picture and give it to somebody, you had to do it on Polaroid. So I thought, well, Polaroid's still very advanced. So it's going to be called Miss Crystal's podcast program, and that's all I know. What will I be talking about? I don't know. Going to be doing different things on there, and stay tuned for that once Dave helps me get my cameras and everything set up.
Well, I think it's amazing, and I think you're going to have lots of viewers.
Well, I sure hope so.
And maybe there's a secret investigator for that podcast.
And I'm hoping at some point that, because you'll already be in the house and you're close, you can come by sometime and I'll pretend I don't know you or something. Be say, what's your name? Just to fake them out a little bit.
I mean, it's your podcast. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, she really can.
And then I'll say, we actually know each other. We have a different podcast. And then we could plug this one on the other one, too.
I heard that's, I mean, when we did that Goblin podcast, people liked that.
Yeah.
People maybe we should try to go on more people's podcasts.
I think we should.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool as hell.
If you got a podcast and you want us to come on it, let us know.
That's a good idea. That's a good, comment below, or you can email
trailertalespod@gmail.com. Or if you have a favorite podcast, go comment on their thing and says, hey, have the Trailer Tales podcast on.
That might be more effective than even the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the Trailer Tales people if they want to be on your podcast. We'd love to see them on.
Because here's the thing, y'all. We've seen the comments 1,000 times that you want Theo on the podcast. Okay? He's a busy guy. We love Theo. We know Theo. Well, at least Tammy knows Theo. Okay. Now, is he going to be a guest someday? We hope so.
Yeah.
But how about you comment, why don't you have Trailer Tales on Theo's podcast?
Yeah.
That might be more effective.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
saying.
agree. You never know. You never know. He may see that.
And his name is not the Oven.
No.
I thought that for 4 years.
You thought his name was The Oven?
On Instagram, it looks like the Oven. And it's Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn.
It's not the Oven.
Right. Right.
So if you're confused, you're like, who is Theo Vaughn? Just look up the Oven.
The Oven. He'll pop up.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to think of other podcasts that I know. I don't know if Carol Burnett has one. If she has one, I'd love to go on her podcast.
That'd be real cool.
I don't think she has a podcast.
Oh, we don't know.
Well, time for her to start one and have us on there.
Yeah.
Maybe
We're just trying to be on people's podcasts.
Johnny Carson's podcast. I would love to be on his.
He passed away.
He passed. That's what I figured.
Okay, I'm glad you broke that news.
Yeah,
Oof.
I did know that. He did pass away.
Okay.
He did pass away. But we're trying to expand and be on other people's podcasts, so please let us know. Okay?
I have a crazy debate.
What?
This is going to be a hard one.
Okay.
What do you think is the best cartoon of all time? Now, we can go by eras if we want, because that might be easier to narrow it down a little bit. Because just naming one might be a little bit too difficult.
That won't be difficult for me, and this is going to be... I'm really going to upset some people now, and this may be a more you and Crystal thing, but Crystal can vouch. I hate cartoons, and I never watched them as a kid.
Nope.
What did you watch? I don't remember you hating cartoons.
Judge Judy,
She wanted to watch real programs.
60 Minutes.
Oh, we did watch a lot of Cops over at your place growing up.
Cops.
As a child, she'd want to watch every one of those daytime judge shows. The Sally Jesse Raphael,
Ricky Lake.
Dr. Phil, any of those programs.
That was one of the reasons why I actually went to jail the first couple times. Is I was trying to get on Cops, and I didn't realize that they didn't film every arrest.
Damn. Yeah, no, there's too many arrests. There's not enough cameras.
I thought anytime somebody got arrested, they were on Cops. So I pulled some pretty bad stuff to see if I could get arrested. And then the first time I was like, where are the cameras? No cameras there. Second offense.
Got you.
Where are the cameras? And I haven't asked them. They go, what are you talking about? And that's when I figured out, after I spent 3 months in there, that not every arrest ends up on Cops.
That is a hard lesson to learn.
It really was. Because I thought I was going to be a celebrity. I thought I was going to make it out of the trailer park like that. Then took years later, me reconnecting with Tammy, starting the podcast.
Well, let me ask you this. Were you wearing a wife beater when you got arrested?
I was.
Okay, well.
See, I
That's
did all
true.
the things. I did all the things that I was like, okay, you got to wear a wife beater. You gotta do something mean to the cops, like
No shoes.
no shoes. Have a weapon on you.
Right.
Have some drugs on you.
Right.
I planted stuff on myself.
Damn. And you still didn't make it on cops?
No.
Damn.
Got the sentence though.
Yeah. Right.
You're on some body cams, probably.
Yeah. That's true.
I said, can you send me the footage? And they go, what are you talking about? I said, I need this. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just trying to show some friends.
That is a hard
Right.
lesson to learn.
Right. Right. I agree. But that's the kind of shows I watched. I wasn't into cartoons. Now, I will say this. I hear people talking about this specific cartoon like it's the greatest thing in the world. And I'm going to have to go with, if I had to pick as a non-cartoon watcher looking from the outside in, I got to go with SpongeBob SquarePants.
That's not a bad choice.
Well, I feel
All the
like-
time?
Well, I feel like kids and adults love that show. Never seen one episode. Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
There's so many.
There's
Go
so
ahead.
many.
Go ahead.
Do we have to narrow down to like a genre?
What are the different genres of cartoons?
Yeah, what's the different genres? Or give us your top three.
Well,
Top
you
three
could say
cartoons.
adult animation is one. That would be like The Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park,
Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead. That might even be its own category because little kid shows, that's kind of a different vibe altogether. It's kind of hard to compare.
Okay, two categories. The adult and then the little kid.
Okay.
It's still hard.
I think if we're talking adult cartoon, I think South Park might have to be the best cartoon of all time. Or The Simpsons. Or Family Guy. It's so
You're picking
hard.
one. You're picking one. You're picking one. Don't list them all off. You're picking one.
I'm going to say South Park has stayed the funniest out of the other ones, out of the longest. The other ones have had dips and stuff. I think South Park has been most consistent.
Okay.
So I'm going to vote South Park.
All right.
For adult, I'm going to vote for Beavis and Butthead.
That's good.
It's a classic, and man, those two little guys are funny.
Well, and I have seen a couple episodes of that.
Oh, yeah.
Chris used to watch it. I'd sit in on that. So I have seen a couple of episodes of that. So I like that show.
I used to do the shirt thing at school. Remember that?
and say Corn Julio.
Yeah.
Okay, kids.
Kids, ooh, it's hard.
I'm going to go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to go with.
It's so hard. It's a toss-up between the Smurfs and Richie Rich.
See, I heard of the Smurfs, but I never heard of that other one.
Richie Rich.
Never in my life.
Richie Rich was about a little child who was very rich.
They made a movie
Oh,
with
I've
it
seen
with
the movie.
Macaulay Culkin.
I've seen the movie. I didn't know I didn't know there was a cartoon about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, while y'all were watching those programs, I was watching Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
I remember that.
You know,
Little House on the Prairie.
Yep, that's what I was into. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of things I was into. The cartoons were too baby for me. I used to, when I was real little, Crystal would put them on, and I go, "This is too baby. I'm not a baby." Mm-hmm. I go, "Put on 60 Minutes."
The Smurfs, though, really got into a lot of different issues, you know, because there was Grumpy Smurf. Every Smurf had a different thing, so they had to deal with the different emotions of each Smurf. Then they had the bad guy with the cat, you know, that was always trying to kill the Smurfs. Well, I didn't say kill, but he always wanted to get the Smurfs. For what? I don't know. He's going to eat them, attack them? I don't know. But that wasn't for babies. That was for older kids.
Yeah.
I never did watch the one with the turtles on it. That was for boys.
Yeah. You know what show I really liked? That is, I guess it wasn't really a cartoon, so that's why I watched it. The ones with the dinosaurs where the baby would go, it had the little baby.
Not the mama?
Not the mama.
Those are puppets. Those are Jim Henson puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are just called. I think it was just called a show called Dinosaurs.
Now I love dinosaurs.
I mean, that was great.
Yes.
That was funny.
I loved that show.
That was good. It was a sitcom about dinosaurs.
Freaked me out.
They were big puppets.
I loved them.
Not the mama. Not the mama.
Not the mama.
So
not the
funny,
mama.
so
Were they
funny.
related to the Fraggle Rocks?
I don't know. There's some weird fan theories out there with the different puppet universes and stuff like that.
Haven't heard those.
You got to look into it.
Please let us know what, in your opinion, is the best cartoon of all time.
Leave a comment below.
Yes,
All right.
adult and child cartoon. Let us know. I want to read these comments because there's going to be some I've never heard of. Never heard of Richie Rich.
And He-Man, that's another one I like.
Never heard of that.
Oh, come on. That's a classic. That's a classic.
Love He-Man.
Yeah.
Never heard
By
of
the
that.
You never heard of
power
He-Man?
Grayskull.
Never. Y'all watch too many cartoons.
Then they had She-Ra.
Sometimes you'd watch. I remember watching a couple episodes. Ren and Snippy. Mm-hmm. I remember that
Cat
one.
Dog.
That one was okay. Rugrats was okay. Now I only kind of set in with Crystal was watching them, but I wasn't really into them. I like the other stuff, but there's a couple that were all right.
I'd just leave them on hoping one day she'd say, I really like that cartoon. She never did, though.
You know when you have to watch something because somebody that you're in the living room with is watching it, so you're like, all right, I'll watch this. That's
Yeah.
how it was for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been a fun episode. Miss Crystal, I'm not going to lie. I want to beat up this guy who treated you badly because I love you and Tammy, and it just kind of pissed me off. But we're going to find you a suitor one way or another that is deserving of your love, and we're going to make sure that your heart opens back up because there should be a companion for you if you would like that. But if you don't like that, that's fine too.
Agree.
Here's my heart.
Agree.
Come on, bring it in. I
Promise
that I will open my heart and my holes if the right man can open my taxi cab door with his heart.
Blow
Up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Blow.
I'm just thinking of what she was doing in the back of that taxi.
I mean, I just kept thinking.
I bet she was Tennessee Tornado and him
Oh,
was doing
yeah.
that.
Yep.
Tennessee Tornado all night, baby.
All right.
All right. I love y'all.
Hey,
Yeah.
where can people watch your podcast?
Well, it's going to be on YouTube, but it ain't there yet.
Well, it's gonna be.
I think
Dave's
it's
gonna
gonna be-
he's going to upload it for me. I'll tell you that much.
I can maybe
what do
get
they need- what
my
do they need
cousin
to
Tad
type
to
in?
help out, but yeah.
Miss Crystal's podcast program.
That's what you need to look up. Hey, thank y'all for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Trailer Tales.